What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Guys, we are back. We're getting it to you early, like we like to this time. We're gonna do a quick recap of the UFC fight night, and then we're gonna do the predictions for the big pay-per-view. Are we gonna touch on Canelo here, or are we gonna do that after?
No, we'll do the boxing first. Let's just get right into that. That was probably the bigger fight of the weekend. But I do want to say, if you haven't checked out the Butterbean interview with Marshall, your favorite interview so far, he's been ranting about how great it's been. But I was so inspired by Butterbean, I went and bicked my head just to look like him. So it is what it is.
I'm just gonna say straight up, Butternut is not getting back on our show. I don't know. I didn't like his energy. I felt like he was being disrespectful, and he won't be back on our show. So there's that.
It is what it is. Just follow his TikTok, right?
No.
No dice. So let's get right into the Durrell fight. It was a split draw.
Yeah, so it was a close fight. I actually watched most of it. I thought Durrell edged it out, but it wasn't the performance he needed, because that was a WBC title eliminator, which is weird because he beat Avni Yildirim for the vacant WBC title. That was Avni's last fight, okay?
Yeah.
Then he lost his WBC title to David Benavidez, and then Avni Yildirim is fighting Canelo for the WBC title when his last fight was over 2 years ago, and he lost for the WBC title. It just doesn't make sense. You'd think either Benavidez or Durrell, since those are the last two guys that fought for it, would be fighting for the title. Am I wrong?
But it's boxing, so is anything wrong?
That's what I'm saying, though. If a mandatory is supposed to be somebody who's worked their way to that spot, Avni worked his way to that spot to fight for it. He lost.
Yeah, it's a really weird situation. But I just say it's boxing, so.
Back to Durrell. Durrell, he looked all right. He's 36. Maybe he's starting to slow down a little bit. But I really wanted to see him get that win, because that would have pushed him up into a title shot potentially.
So now you're going to see we don't know boxing, because rematches don't happen like they should in boxing, but there should be a rematch.
With him and, sorry, what's the guy's name?
I forget.
Keon Davis, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a rematch. I wouldn't mind seeing Benavidez fight Durrell again, maybe for, I don't know, just to keep them both active. But, like, fight top guys. I want to see top guys fight.
For sure. And Durrell's not getting any younger, like you said, so.
Right.
I do want to shout out how you like my new look better than me sitting on a bed.
Yeah, man. I'm sick of you breathing on my face, okay? It looks better like this.
This is for Will.
Shout out to the big Willie, my pops.
Little Willie. No, I'm just kidding. We do have we had Joseph Parker, who I was texting you about. I'm like, I can't believe this man's only 29 years old.
Yeah, I didn't see the fight, but he won by unanimous decision. I saw pictures, and it looked like he beat the dude up pretty bad.
Yeah, I seen some highlights, but you know what? I was looking at his record. He lost to Anthony Joshua, and he lost to Dylan White. He's now on a 4-fight win streak. He won I think it was an international championship, if I'm correct. This man could be top 10 now. I think he still is top 10 now.
It's close. He could be.
So he could get a big name. I was thinking maybe a Michael Hunter fight.
Okay, Michael Hunter's actually fighting Filip Hrgović for the WBC title eliminator. That's a big fight.
Okay, so but he deserves a name now, somewhat name.
Wallin. That's the fight to make.
There we go. That could work too. But I don't know. I don't mind Joseph Parker. He's always, to me, I don't mind him.
Yeah, you assume that he's older than he is because he's been fighting for so long. He fought Andy Ruiz like 6 years ago.
And beat him.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I give him a bigger name. Even a Huey Fury, I think maybe might, or he already beat him.
You beat Huey Fury.
Yeah. So, yeah, give him a bigger name at least. It would be a good bounce back fight for Deontay Wilder.
I like that. He was supposed to fight Derek Chisora, but then he got bit by a spider and had to pull out. So maybe make that one again.
I don't know. I just feel like you should give him somewhat of a name now.
I agree. I completely agree.
So, but let's get into the Canelo fight now.
Yep.
I can't say I watched it. I watched the highlights.
So
you know what the problem was?
What?
I was watching UFC and it went. I thought I wasn't really paying. I was paying attention to UFC And usually boxing fights go later than they are. I didn't realize I missed the Canelo fight.
Yeah. It's because it was in Florida. Because Canelo usually fights in Vegas, so it's late. Because it was in Florida, it was in the regular.
I went to turn it on, and it says stopped on stool on the third. I'm like, what the heck did I just miss? So I watched the highlights of it.
Okay, so like I said last week, I predicted a 4th-round knockout. It ended between the 3rd and the 4th, so I got pretty close. My buddy Dale from Punch List MMA messaged me. He calls me yesterday, the day before the fight. Yo, he's like, the over-under is 4.5. I like the over on that. I'm like, don't touch it. He's like, why? It's like, it can't get to the 5th round? I'm like, don't touch it. He bet on it. He lost money. I told you so.
It is what it is. Now you have to send him tell him to clip that little part out for him and send it to him. So how did Canelo look to you?
Dude, that's what I was going to say. Canelo looked great, but I think that dude took a dive.
Andy?
Yeah, Abney.
You think he took a dive?
Yeah, man, so if you know the way Yildirim fights, he just comes forward, charges. He didn't do anything, didn't put on any pressure, didn't even use his jab. He didn't do anything. He just stood there.
But fighting Canelo, did he have to take a dive?
No, I don't know. I think he just came for the payday, and he's just like, I'm gonna lose, so I'm just gonna let this guy knock. Yeah, so he got dropped in the 3rd round, and then he goes back to his corner. And Joel Diaz, former Tim Bradley trainer, was like, you got one more round. If you don't show me anything, I'm stopping this fight. He started to take a beating. And then he didn't come out. So I'm assuming he said to Joel, no, I can't do this anymore, and quit. That's my assumption.
It's sad because, I don't know. The fight never should have happened anyway. You know what? Canelo should have beat him this way, so it's not surprising. It's one of those things, though. Like, we can't say, oh, my God, Canelo's the best fighter in the world, because he's fighting a man who's coming off a loss whose last fight was 2018. You know what I mean? Okay,
I got 2 things to say. First of all, he was hitting the dude he was fake. That I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Second of all, at least he did what he was supposed to do. Adrian Broner last week got the same kind of matchup, was fighting a guy that he's supposed to take out and lost. And he lost the fight.
For sure. Well, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Yildirim had a chance to shock the world. He didn't do it. Canelo did what he was supposed to do, and that's it. We get Billy Joe Saunders, which is a better matchup coming up. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Exactly. They announced that. So that was probably the highlight of the night, that they announced the title unification with Billy Joe. So they're going to be fighting for that WBO, WBC, WBA, and Ring Championships. So that's pretty big.
Pay-per-view, going to be good.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm rooting for Billy Joe, but let's see what goes on. All right, we had some UFC. Shout out, I didn't even know she fought, but shout out to Alexis Davis from Hamilton. She got a win back versus a bantamweight in the last. She hasn't had a win since 2017, I don't think, but it was good to see Alexis Davis back. There was another fight I was shocked.
Alex Hernandez lost to Thiago Moises.
Yeah, I was a little shocked by that. Thiago Moises is he's coming off Michael Johnson win. There was another name before that.
Yeah, here, I'll pull it.
If you want to pull that up. So he's coming off 3 names. Like, he's on a little bit of a roll. I think he was on his last loss, and then he's came up with 3 good wins. So this guy could be a problem in the lightweight division.
He's got an interesting style. His hands are getting better, too, because I thought he was going to get beat up on the feet, and he didn't. So he's coming off of wins. So now Alex Hernandez, Bobby Green, Michael Johnson.
Pretty good wins.
That's not bad at all, yeah. So his hands are getting better. He's lost to Beneil Dariush, but that was like 3 years.
That's nothing to be ashamed about.
Nothing to be ashamed about. Just lost to Jason Knight back in 2015. That's kind of, yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's getting better. He's getting better for sure.
For sure. I don't know. I think he might be a problem. I would like to see. It sucks because Hernandez is 28. He keeps getting older. He's supposed to be a top prospect. Well, where does he go from here? Because do you think he could bounce back?
Dude, I think he's honestly, I think he's too big for 155. I wouldn't mind seeing him go up to 170. Maybe take on Mike Perry at 170. I'd like that fight.
That'd be a good fight. I like that.
I don't know what else you do with him.
Because, maybe a rematch with Francisco Trinaldo, since that was controversial.
Did he win or lose that?
He won that, but a lot of people thought Trinaldo won.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him maybe fight Cerrone again, but you got Cerrone taking on Sanchez.
Felder.
Oh, Felder hurt this guy badly.
All right, but on the opening of the main card, we did have Alex Cesars, who's Bruce Leroy is kind of on a roll right now. Beat Kevin Groom for 3 rounds.
3-fight win streak for Bruce
4.
Leroy.
4.
Are you sure?
100% 4.
Let me see this. What'd you think?
I don't know. Every time I see this guy win lately, I'm getting a little excited. I don't know why. I get excited that he's putting together a win streak. I think it might be that the fact that he was 14-12, and now he's 18-12, and he's been in the UFC for so long. He's actually a really talented fighter, and he looks like he's coming into his own.
And he's only 32, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's been in the UFC as long as I can remember, and he's only 32.
You should reach out to Bruce Leroy and see if he wants to come on the show.
Yeah, I definitely will. 4-fight win streak, like you said. He beat, I guess his most notable win is Chase Hooper, which is kind of sad, but I mean, what can you do?
I don't know. I get happy when I see him win.
I don't know. What do they do with him now, though, in the featherweight division? Maybe the loser of Gavin Tucker and Ige?
That wouldn't be a bad fight.
I don't mind that.
It's true. Kron Gracie? Oh, he already fought him.
Did he fight Kron?
Yeah, Kron beat him round 1.
I wouldn't mind seeing them run that back.
That's true. Kron's been out for a while.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage against Cub.
For sure. Then we had another fight.
I told you so. Pedro Munoz gets the unanimous decision, I believe. I believe it was unanimous over Jimmy Rivera.
Pedro looked really good.
He did. I took the boxing looked clean. He didn't depend on the overhand right. He was throwing combinations.
Like, Pedro's never going to be a champion at in the UFC. I'm just saying that. But he's going to be a problem for anyone who wants to be a champion.
For sure. Look, he gave Jimmy Rivera, he beat, tough fight. I think he definitely won, but every round was close.
Yeah, and he's fighting good people, and he's putting on a show every time. He's never getting beat up. Like, he arguably beat Edgar. He arguably beat John. In his loss to John Dodson, a lot of people thought he won. So, like,
he
did
gave
you see that fight?
No, I didn't see that. I saw the Aljo fight was close too, though.
Exactly. Like, he's a problem.
Yeah. He's really good. How old is Pedro now?
I think he's probably like 32, 33.
Yeah.
I know they're talking about Cody versus Aldo, but I wouldn't mind Pedro fight Aldo or Cody in a rematch.
Pedro versus Cody in a rematch, that'd be, yeah. I think Pedro's gotten better since that fight. I'd like to.
So has Cody.
Huh?
So has Cody.
Wait, wasn't that Cody's last fight?
No, Cody won against Rafael. Remember that crazy right hand?
Yes, yeah, that was a sunset. Right. Yeah, definitely bring that one back. Cody's gotten better too, but Pedro knocked him out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely run. I would like to see them run that one back for sure, though.
For sure. And then we'll just get to the co-main.
Magomed and Kyalev look good, man.
He showed some ground game too against a top guy who could actually on the ground. I thought Krylov looked great round 1 though.
It was just the whole card was kind of disappointing because it was whole decisions. Like the whole main card was decisions. Everything.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a good win to get him into the top 10. I would like to see him fight the winner of Rakic and Thiago Santos or the loser of that fight.
Either one. Winner or loser, I'm good with.
Yeah. So he could be a problem. He's big.
Yeah, or the winner of Lionheart versus Crute.
That's a good fight for him.
Yeah.
This guy's huge though, for the lightweight division.
What was he, like 6'3" or something? He's a tall dude.
This looks thick.
Yeah. And then the main
event. A Snicker.
Dude, I was very disappointed with Rozentruik Gane.
I was really disappointed with, like you said, this whole card. I coming into this fight, I think we all knew that Gane was going to win. Like, let's be real. But I wasn't actually that impressed with Gane.
The thing, okay, it was.
Did Rozentruik even throw anything?
No, because Rozentruik was on the back foot the whole time. He just kept touching his hand. He kept touching. At some point, you have to lead. I understand Rozentruik was trying to look for a shot, but at some point, you have to push forward.
Yeah, I was not impressed with either of them. I thought I don't know. I thought it was a very boring fight.
Yeah, I don't think either of them really took any like damaging blow, like too much damage.
Like Gane kept the jab going. His jab looked nice. I'll give him that. But I don't know if someone's going like Gane could be a problem at heavyweight. Don't get me wrong, but someone like Francis Ngannou is going to rush right through him because he's not going to be scared of Gane's power.
Right. I agree. And people are saying he's going to run right through Derek Lewis. I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
The thing is, Derek Lewis has so much more heart than Rozentruik.
And Derek Lewis comes forward. He's not just going to sit back and wait.
Derek Lewis isn't going to just sit there and get jabbed in the face all day. He's going to throw those hands. And we know what happens when you throw hands.
But that being said, Gane had a nice takedown at the end of the first round. If he plays that game against Derek Lewis, he could win that way. But in a stand-up fight, I would favor Derek Lewis.
I don't know. He has that Popeye's chicken power, so I think, I don't know. I have Lewis winning, but Gane could be a problem for the future.
I think Gane Volkov makes the most sense next, though.
I like that fight for sure.
And then Rozenstruik, maybe Overeem.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been impressed with Rozenstruik.
But okay, let's say they do Rozenstruik, Overeem, and they do Gane Volkov. What do they do with Derek Lewis?
Title shot. Well, in reality, he deserves it. I think.
I agree, but he's not gonna get it because you got Stipe Ngannou, then you got John Jones. So he has to fight one more guy.
That's for sure. We'll see. We'll just see how this match makes out. So, yeah. But we do have a big card this weekend.
Oof, do we ever? 3 title fights?
Yeah.
Where are we starting on this one?
I think even on the early prelims there's a nice fight on there. It's just a stacked card.
Tim Elliott's fighting Jordan Espinoza. That's not bad.
I think Espinoza and Tim Elliott are coming off wins, but they weren't looking good before that. I do got Elliott by a sloppy decision. Yeah,
I just like watching Tim Elliott fight. I'm gonna pick Tim as well. We roll on to the prelims. You got Rogerio Bontorin taking on Kai Kara France.
You love Kai, don't you?
No, I like Brandon Royval, who just beat him.
Yeah. We got to break every single one of these fights for 5 minutes apiece. We got to break them down. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go with Rogerio.
Yeah, I'll go with Rogerio too.
Joseph Benavidez taking on Askar Askarov. It's a tough fight for Benavidez.
It's tough because 2 years ago I would have said Joseph tears him apart. But Joseph Benavidez doesn't look like he wants to fight anymore. I don't know why he's even fighting anymore. He's kind of in lost no man's land. I don't know, man. His whole backstory is kind of sad because if he didn't have Demetrius problems and Davison problems, he would have been champion. I don't know. He was so good at one point. He was pound for pound at one point, in my opinion. And I do got Askar by decision.
Yeah, I'm looking at Askar's resume, dude. He just beat Pantoja, Tim Elliott, and had a draw with Brandon Moreno. This dude's...
Pantoja definitely won that fight, though.
Okay, but Pantoja's a bad dude, man. So to get the nod had to have been somewhat close.
That's true.
I don't know. Like you said, Benavidez is just falling on hard times. I don't think he's going to be the same after those 2 destructive beatdowns from Fig. But if he wins this fight, which is a big if, he's got to be right there for a title shot again.
Yeah, it's crazy, the flyweight division.
But I'm going to go Askarov decision.
Yeah.
So we got Song Yadong taking on Kyler Phillips. Not a bad fight.
Song Yadong on a 6-fight win streak. You know that?
Is he really?
Well, he's had 1 draw, but he's up there.
That's crazy. And then
I love the name too, Yadong. Yadong.
The main event of the prelims, we got Dominic Cruz taking on Casey Kenny.
I know, it's such a weird fight. You know what's weird? I just don't think Dominic Cruz is the same fighter. He looked really bad in his last 2 performances. He hasn't won a fight in a while. I just don't think his mentality is there. He should stick to commentating, and I got a decision for Casey pretty easily.
Oh, wow. Really?
I was thinking about putting some money on it.
Is he the...
I think Dominic Cruz is the better fighter. I just don't think he's mentally there.
And you know Dominic Cruz is the underdog in this?
He should be.
I don't know, man. I look at Casey Kenny, and I don't see anything that he does better than Dom. In the words of Floyd Mayweather, and you know I don't like quoting Floyd Mayweather, Casey Kenny is got no special effects. He's just solid everywhere. He doesn't do anything great. I think Dominic Cruz will wrestle him if he wants to wrestle him. He'll knock him out on the feet if he wants to do that. I got unanimous decision for Dominic Cruz pretty handily.
I would love to see Dominic Cruz win, but I just think Casey's going to win. I'm going to put some money on Casey.
Interesting. Okay, rolling on to the main event. We got Santos Rakic. That's a good fight, man.
Man, it's kind of, I don't know. Thiago's losing to Glover kind of took some steam off him, right?
It did, but you got to remember he was coming off of some serious injuries, some surgeries, and he had some big moments in that fight too. Yeah,
I don't know. I think Rakic might be the future title challenger. I think he stops him early.
You think Rakic could handle a shot from Thiago though?
We'll see.
Błachowicz couldn't.
That's true.
Glover almost got knocked out 2 or 3 times.
The thing is that Alexander could keep him at range because he's a lot longer. He's going to pick him apart. He might not stop him, but I just feel he keeps him at range just to pick him apart.
Dude, I'm going to take Thiago Santos' first round knockout.
Really?
I can't see him losing 3 in a row. I can't.
2. Oh, it would be 3.
Yeah.
I got Rakic by. Well, last time you said that about Pedro, it went your way. So I love Santos, but I do got Rakic by unanimous decision, actually.
I'd be very upset if my boy Thiago Merita gets beat 3 times in a row. Okay. This is a...
Can't feel bad for him when he goes home to Yana.
Yeah, that's true. Islam Makhachev taking on Drew Dober. It's kind of a good fight, kind of a weird fight. I don't know.
It's kind of one of those. Drew Dober's a good fighter, but he's not a great fighter. He's lost some big fights. You know what I mean? He's one of those fighters. He's there. He's tough. He's beaten Alexander Hernandez. He has some good wins, but I feel like Islam. It's a kind of a fight to bump him up to a main event of a fight night again. I think you're going to see. It's a fight where he could showcase and get some more hype on the train. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just don't see a way that Drew Dober is better than him. Same as you said as Dominic Cruz. If he wants to wrestle, he can wrestle him. His striking came a long way. He could outstrike him now. I just don't see anywhere where Drew Dober could beat him.
Yeah, but on paper though, Drew Dober was a very high level collegiate wrestler, was he not?
Yeah, and he's super strong.
And he trains with Gaethje all the time, and now Kamaru Usman's in that camp as well. I don't know, man. And Dober's hands have looked a lot better too. The dude's got some power. I wouldn't sleep on Dober in this one, but I think Islam will get a unanimous decision. But watch Drew Dober come on strong in the last round, win the 3rd round. I
do think you're going to see Islam win 2nd round submission. I just think it's a coming out party for him. And then I think what you're going to see is Islam win, and you're going to get that RDA fight finally put together.
It's a tough fight for RDA. Okay, first of 3 title fights. Petr Yan taking on Aljamain Sterling.
It's such a tough fight.
Woo. It's a great fight, man. That's a great fight.
I think that Aljo I love Aljo, but I think he's too cocky coming into this fight. Aljo has been stopped before, let's not forget. Devastatingly stopped. Looked great, beat Sandhagen, which is like an amazing win just not even a year ago, I don't think. But I just think that Petr Yan has a secret power. Like you're going to see Aljo go for a takedown, and Petr Yan's just going to throw him off him. I don't think he's going to be able to take him down. I think Petr Yan knocks him out in the 2nd round.
Yeah, I completely agree. First or 2nd round knockout for Petr Yan. His takedown defense is really good. He's got ridiculous hands.
And he's just underrated.
Yeah, and he's just a mean guy. He's just mean, man.
Yeah, I think is he the underdog in this fight?
Oh, Peter's the favorite.
Is he? He should be. And it's good because he's gone from beating Aldo, Uriah Faber. He hasn't gotten that big win yet. Now he can say he's going to devastatingly beat Aljo, and you're going to say, wow, this is going to be a coming out party. This guy is a problem.
Right. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Petr Yan, 2nd round knockout. And then we roll on to the co-main event. Amanda Nunes defending her featherweight belt against Megan Anderson.
Damn.
Let me start on this one. So as I've been dropping eggs and hints for the last month or so that I'm kind of leaning towards Megan. And if you haven't been paying attention to the show, I've been saying Amanda Nunes, like, I'm sure she's training hard, but you can tell her focus isn't on her training. I haven't seen any posts. I haven't seen her doing anything. Megan Anderson is in the gym, man. She is grinding. I know she's like a 12-1 dog, but I just have this feeling there's nothing Megan does better than Amanda on their best day. But I just have this feeling that Megan Anderson is going to beat her. And it can't be by decision because there's no way that you win 5 rounds against the GOAT. So she's going to have to knock her out. So I have Megan by knockout.
It's surprising because I think the length of her is going to play a big factor into this fight. And I actually got Megan Anderson or clipping her in the first round and knocked her out.
First round. He's coming off of 2 first-round stoppages, a sub and a KO, so it's possible.
But if it goes to the ground like Felicia Spencer did, Amanda Nunes will tap her out.
Yes, there's nothing Megan does. I'm telling you, nothing. I don't even think she hits as hard as Amanda does on her best day. But I don't think Amanda's on her best day right now. I don't think she's focused. I don't think she's really cares. I think she's overlooking Megan. On paper, this is one of her easiest fights ever. Felicia Spencer stopped Megan Anderson, did she not?
Yeah, first round.
So I don't. I just have this feeling Megan Anderson's gonna get it done though. It's just.
Are you gonna put some money on this?
Yeah, I think I am gonna put some money on it.
I might put $50 on Megan.
Yeah, I might put something like that too. We'll see.
It just seems like one of those moments where there's potential upset.
100%, I agree.
I think the length of her is going to play a big factor in the striking.
Dude, people are gonna laugh at us for both picking Megan though.
We'll see on next Saturday when we're rolling to the bank and with an ass like that. Well, never mind. We'll get that later.
Okay.
But in the main event,
Jan Błachowicz, Mr. Polish Power, taking on Izzy Israel Adesanya.
Why didn't he fight John Jones when he was light heavyweight champion?
It makes you think something, right? It makes you think.
It just seems really weird that you get probably. I'm not bashing Jan Błachowicz, but he doesn't seem like a UFC champion.
I disagree. Coming into the title fight with Reyes, I would have agreed with you. But in retrospect, when you look at this man's body of work, it's championship caliber. Like, let me just run through something real quick for you. So after his loss to Thiago Santos in February 2019, he got knocked out in the 3rd round. He took on Luke Rockhold, former middleweight champion. He was the underdog. He knocks him out in the 2nd round. Then he takes on Ronaldo Souza, former middleweight Strikeforce champion. He was the favorite in that one, win split decision. Then he takes on Corey Anderson, was definitely the underdog in that. Corey had already beaten him, knocks him out in the 1st round. Then he takes on Dominic Reyes, was a big underdog in that one, knocks him out in the 2nd round. He's on a 4-fight win streak. 3 of those, he was the underdog.
I think it's 3, isn't he? Is it 4?
4-fight win streak. 3,
wow.
He was underdog.
I just think that Izzy's on a different striking level, and unless Jan gets a hold of him and can out-wrestle him, where I just feel like he's kind of like Paulo Costa, same size.
No, he's such a better boxer than Paulo Costa.
Do you think he's bigger though?
He's a little bit bigger. They're similar size. They're similar.
I just think the fight plays out exactly the same. He's going to get picked apart and he's going to get stopped. And I got him stopped in the 3rd round. I just think it's a coming out party for Israel to say I'm the GOAT. But to me, it's a fight that really shows in the time. You could have fought John Jones and you didn't.
I don't know, man. I can't pick against him, man. And you go further back in the resume, he's got wins over Devin Clark, good fighter, Jerry Cannonier, Jimmy Manuwa, Nikita Krylov. He's riding a 8 of his last 9. He's won.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Israel's on what?
20 no.
Yeah, so and this man, but you know what? Izzy has been knocked out before. So devastatingly, if anyone's gonna knock out Izzy, it could be Jan.
I just think people are looking past this guy. It's like, yeah, like exactly what you said, you don't see Jan as a champion, but when you look at the guys he's actually beaten,
yeah,
that's a Hall of Fame resume right there.
Yeah. It'll be good for him to see, for sure.
I'm gonna take Jan Błachowicz 2nd round knockout.
I would love Jan to win. Don't get me wrong. I just can't. I got 2nd round knockout or 2nd, 3rd round knockout for Izzy. Similar to the Costa fight without the humping.
Right. I don't know. I can't see Jan being so tentative like Costa was, but we'll see. I'm very excited for that fight. Can't wait for that fight. Okay, Bean.
I did it for him. Got to go Dana White. But yeah, anyway, I did postpone. I did it. I postponed the Taylor fight till Monday, so that should be coming out this week. It was her birthday. I didn't want to bug her too much, so I just said, can we do it? She respected that. So that'll be coming out this week, Taylor Starling. And I don't know if you have any interviews, any news on the Lovato situation?
Yeah, so Rafael Lovato and I are going to break down the Bellator Grand Prix, I think 2 weeks from now. So that's coming as well. A quick shout out to Clarissa Shields, who's fighting on Friday night, and Holly Holm will be doing the commentating. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well.
And in the next couple of weeks, I will have an interview with Sean Patrick Flannery. He just brought out the new movie Born a Champion, so he's going to come on the show and talk about the new MMA movie. If you don't know who he is, he's a big actor. He was in the main character in Boondock Saints, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool. That's cool.
So, all right.
All right, guys. As always, like, subscribe, share, check out our interviews, and we'll be back. We're out.